awakening. She is beginning to see further, reach higher, plumb deeper. She is starting to feel she is worthy. She is starting to feel she is loved. She is starting to feel she can trust her heart. She is starting to fully express herself. She is beginning to feel empowered. She is starting to open the portal home to herself. She is beginning to feel she is free. Hello, beautiful souls. This is something I wrote my first day back in Avalon, Glastonbury, England, where my soul expanded, and I just love sharing the story of transformation that I experienced there so others can know what is possible, especially when you visit this sacred land. I never knew Avalon, Glastonbury existed. I went there 2 summers ago for a sexual awakening and healing retreat. And I just had a few hours there before I went just outside the town on retreat. And as I was in the town, I thought there's a couple things I want to go see. And one of them was the goddess house, where they have different rooms dedicated to different goddesses. And I walked in to the Lady of Avalon room. I was just overcome with this sensation of having come home for the first time in my life. I never knew about the Lady of Avalon. I don't know, but apparently she had other plans for me. I started crying. It felt like a priestess calling, and my life has never been the same since. So on my return this summer to the same retreat, after the retreat, I gave myself a full month to just see what was possible. Why did I have this feeling of home there? I wanted to explore what was this. And as I lived in Avalon for a full month, I just felt such transformation and expansion and healing on such a deep subconscious level from the distortions of patriarchy. Because for a full month I was in a living goddess culture surrounded by images, statues, paintings of the divine feminine. I was surrounded by priestesses everywhere. I spent time in the goddess temple, and I have a really amazing story about that I might share at some point. It's just so hard to put into words the feeling that you have when you're there and you're not in a patriarchal society per se, because you are surrounded by the divine feminine, which we've been so disconnected from as men and as women. So today I just want to share my story of transformation, of reconnecting with the divine feminine, what that can do for you. So the next little piece of prose I'll share that I wrote while I was there is stepping out. Stepping out again and again in faith and trust into the unknown, my soul expanding, singing, dancing, lighting up, feeling the pull toward a greater vision, becoming love, being love. And I feel like that's what it was for me the whole time I was there. I was living in 5D, effortlessly, living in unconditional love. The synchronicities were flowing constantly. Every day I woke up and I asked myself, can today be as magical as yesterday? And every day was magical from beginning to end. It was incredible. It was incredible. As I was there, I just felt my heart expanding and expanding, and I would connect with total strangers on the street and have metaphysical conversations, deep spiritual conversations with anyone in the town there and the storekeepers. It just such a magical vortex of energy. Going up the tour is amazing, and you'll see people with all kinds of instruments and from all different faiths and backgrounds, just enjoying these sacred pilgrimages. And the town itself is such a beautiful model of what is possible in the world for people of all different faiths to come together and live in harmony and accept each other and not be fighting with each other. It just was a beautiful example of what is possible. And for me, every day I just allowed the day to flow. I had ideas of what I wanted to see and do. And if things didn't line up the way I thought they would, it was always because something better was around the corner. In fact, my very first day, I was staying in a B&B called Camelot, which cracks me up. I'm in Camelot. I was in Avalon. And the very first day I checked out of the retreat and came into Avalon, I was sitting across the breakfast table from another woman who was staying there. And I just conversationally asked her what she was doing for the day. Well, it turns out my plans had been canceled. I was to go to Avebury Stone Circle, which is the largest stone circle in England and I think in the world. And I'd been there the year before and I wanted to go back. But it got canceled. So my day was open. My day was free. And she said, well, I'm going to go with my star sisters, astrologer priestesses, on a couple days tour to Cornwall to see the sacred stone sites. And that was one of the things I had wanted to do, was see more stone sites. So I just half jokingly said, is there room for one more? Because I knew I was free. And she said, yes, but you have to be ready to go in 10 minutes. They're picking me up. So it worked out. They got me, there was an extra room in the hotel, and the woman was willing to let me join in with all these star priestesses. So off I went into a whirlwind tour of stone circles. I could have never planned that. I just didn't plan that magic event to happen just because I asked, what are you doing today? And I was in Merlin's Cave, at Tintagel, and all kinds of amazing places. It was amazing. What a way to start the month in Avalon. I just met so many wonderful people there. People with, quirkiness. There was Merlin standing outside every day, outside the town hall, a man dressed as Merlin. I think I saw Jesus of Nazareth on the street too. And one day I saw him using a smartphone, which looked really strange, but it's just beautiful. Everybody being themselves and embracing their quirkiness, and everybody just, doing their own thing. One man would draw beautiful mandalas on the sidewalk and then put such incredible quotes next to them by Carl Jung and other famous people. And his mission was to shift people's perceptions of reality through his mandalas on the sidewalk and his quotes. Like, he was on a mission to do that. So that was beautiful. I just, every day, couldn't wait to meet more people there and hear their stories. It was amazing. So I'll share a brief story about, you can't see me, but I am wearing a necklace with a horse. And I got it in Avalon to remind me of a very sacred moment in the goddess temple, when I was sitting in front of the altar, just in deep contemplation. And they have a beautiful painting of someone's image of the Lady of Avalon. And she's laying in the landscape. She's part of the landscape. And in the middle of the painting is a white horse running through. And as I focused on opening my heart to Goddess, and I focused on that white horse running through, all of a sudden, I became that horse. And I felt such freedom like I've never felt in my life. Like there was nothing holding me back. It was like I connected with my soul. And it was such a beautiful feeling. I wanted to have the little physical reminder of that freedom that I felt there. And I realized one day I was walking down the sidewalk and I felt this calling from Goddess just hit me in my heart chakra to bring other women there to experience the freedom and the way that we can dissolve the distortions of patriarchy which have held us back for too long, where we have felt the need to suppress our voice and where we may not have felt like we were enough, that we didn't know enough, or we weren't worthy enough of having more freedom and a bigger life and flourishing in all areas of our life. So I really felt that call. And I'd never done anything like that before in my life, like planned a retreat to another country. So I just let it flow. I just was open to synchronicities and everything lined up. I was guided to all the right people, all the right places. And I just stepped out in faith and trust. And I'm still stepping out in faith and trust every day. Going to Avalon changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my life. It changed the work I do in the world. I had been a holistic practitioner for 30 years, massage therapist. And since spending time in Avalon, I felt called to become a divine feminine embodiment coach because I feel like there is such deep healing when we can embody our divine feminine essence, which we've been cut off from for so long. That's how you find your voice and power and balance. Balancing the divine masculine and feminine and marrying the two. That's my mission. And it's what I want to share with other women and men so they can find their wholeness and their holiness and come back to their true essential selves, to their whole selves. I feel it with every cell of my body, the longing to bring other people back to their divine essence so they can live their mission, so they can be fully activated. That's also what I felt happened in Avalon, is it activated dormant gifts and a remembrance. And you're constantly downloading codes as you're going to Chalice Well and White Spring and all these sacred places. Sometimes you don't even realize it till later on when things start to activate in your life. I can't say enough good about it. I want to go back. I actually want to live there. I want to move there. It's my heart's home. And it's calling me back. And I'm calling the women there that want to go there, If you feel drawn to Avalon, don't wait. Go. Don't wait. There's a reason you're feeling that pull. I met dozens of women when I stayed there, coming in through the B&B, people from all around the world who were drawn to Glastonbury, who had been there either many times before or it was their first time there. All of them had transformational experiences. None of them wanted to leave, and many of them wanted to come back at some point. It's that powerful. And for those of you who haven't heard this, it is the heart chakra of Mama Gaia. So even just in and of itself, it being the heart chakra is so powerful. And of course, there's dragon lines and ley lines going through there of the sacred sites. If you go there, your life will definitely not ever be the same again. Ever. I guarantee it. So if you're looking for a place to really have spiritual transformation and a leap forward, quantum leap your life forward, that is one of the places to go. It's one of the most sacred sites in the world, I believe. And to step out in faith and trust to even get there, because initially I didn't even have the finances to go. And I wondered, do I deserve to go? I'm so thankful that I went, and I'm so thankful for the transformation. And since I arrived home, I followed the path of a sacred sound priestess. I was linked up with someone in Avalon there and studied with her, and that's helped me share my story now with you, to feel compelled to get this story out, to get the story out of how Avalon can bring women back to their full potential. And I love the word flourish, so I use that all the time. I want us all to flourish. Stop playing small. Come out of hiding. Your voice matters so much. You have a unique mission in this world. You have a unique path. You've had a unique journey. No one else has your story. No one else can tell your story. So I highly, highly, highly encourage you to really clear your throat chakra and open it up and start speaking your truth more and more. And as you speak your truth more and more and embody your truth, you will step onto a path of joy like you never have before. The path of joy will open up to you. And more things will, yes, probably be asked of you and required of you as you step up to serve in soul leadership. I'm going to share one more piece of prose I wrote. I slept on the tour above the sacred orchard. It was so quiet there, not like at home. There were no birds singing in the morning. But as I woke up, the first thing I wrote was to convey the feeling I had. It's called free. Arms outstretched, I fly, unencumbered by the past, unattached to the present, and unafraid of the future, abiding in the eternal now, where all possibilities exist in love. That's really what it comes down to. Love. Loving yourself, accepting yourself, and loving others. That's what it comes down to for me. So I invite you, beautiful souls, beautiful women, if this place calls to you, I have a beautiful retreat coming up in July, and you can go to sistersofAvalonretreat.com. That's sistersofAvalonretreat.com to find out more. And I wish you many blessings on your path, and that you speak and live your truth.